Coming up on Hawk TV, we take a look at the learning options for next school year, choir spring show, and football's upcoming spring game. This is Hawk TV for Friday, May 14th. Good morning, Hebron High School. I'm Ellery Lyles. Learning this year has looked different, with students being virtual, in-person, or virtual plus. For the 2021-22 school year, whether LISD can provide a fully virtual option for students has yet to be determined. Haley Pacheco got to take a look.
The next item for discussion is the virtual program for next year.
Last Monday, the school board proposed potential virtual options for next school year. A fully online option for students K-12 is dependent on a bill passing in both the House and Senate. The district does not currently receive funding for fully virtual learning. However, if the two bills are passed, the district will be able to provide the all-virtual option for elementary, middle, and high school students. LISD Deputy Superintendent Lori Rapp says she is glad the district is working to offer a variety of options.
We know there are other school districts that are already stating they're not going to offer virtual learning choices to families for next school year. And I'm always proud that we're in a district and we have a school board that supports that our families and our students want choices, and we want to provide those choices to the best of our ability. We just want to be sure that what we're providing is of good quality. And I'm really proud of our school district for that.
The district's stance is that in-person is the best option for the majority of students and will have the most course offerings. But despite this all year, Counselor Dr. Justin Field and 9th grade principal Amanda Wernicke says it has helped the school, teachers, and students realize that some students learn better through different avenues.
There are some students who have really thrived in the virtual environment. And so I'm really glad that we've had Virtual Pathway and Virtual Plus available for them. I do also think that some students have also demonstrated that they really need to be on campus in order to learn best. And aside from learning, I do also think that there is an important part in just having a way to be around peers, be with their teachers, and just feel some sort of like connection that maybe you can't even explain. That's been helpful. So I think Virtual Plus has been really good in that way as kind of a compromise.
It's been great every 9 weeks, seeing kids come back in the building for the first time and, get to experience campus life a little bit, which I think is a huge part of high school. But we've also seen some, students have great success virtually. I think our teachers grew in just technology integration in their classrooms. I think virtual presents some new challenges, but with the options that are being looked at where a student could go all VLA, if they had been successful virtually and they had, a health concern or something like that, to being able to take 1 or 2 classes through VLA.
The district has provided online learning through the LISD Virtual Learning Academy since 2007. Director of the Virtual Learning Academy, Chris Bigelow, says regardless of the outcome in legislation, the district's mission to serve students the best they can remains unchanged.
We just keep doing what we've always done. And that is, we keep providing supplementary courses. As I said, this year we will have served over 5,000 students, over 10,000 courses over the course of the year. And we'll just continue doing that.
Next year, high school students can take up to 2 classes through VLA, but must be on campus for at least 2 periods. This provides the same flexibility as the Virtual Plus option, which many students selected this past year. Junior Kessa Dryberg says she has taken VLA classes before and is considering it for next year.
I was under the impression that you were either going to have to do full virtual or full in-person. And I'm actually fully vaccinated, so I was just thinking to myself, I'm fine just doing fully in-person especially because there are some opportunities that you just can't have when you're virtual, like extracurriculars and stuff like that.
Bigelow says that after this year, if education doesn't improve and use this experience for the better, it's a lost opportunity. He says he never thought it would take a virus to shift the future of education.
And has forced us to learn to do things differently. And as a result, we can take those lessons and move them forward. We can improve then the way learning happens, both in the classroom as well as online. So I don't even see traditional teaching going back to being the same, because the skill sets that teachers have learned now by going and teaching online, where they may have never wanted to address, work with those skill sets, have now developed new skill sets that they can leverage even in the traditional classroom. I do see teaching has changed moving forward, probably forever.
Reporting for Hawk TV, I'm Haley Pacheco.
Thanks, Haley. If you're interested in all virtual for next school year, there will be an application process taking grades, discipline, and readiness into account for acceptance into the learning option. Keep an eye out for more information from the district. As the school year comes to a close, students can look back on good memories despite an unusual year. We asked students what their favorite memory is from this school year.
My favorite memory this year was definitely meeting all of my best friends.
My favorite memory from this year was doing the musical Chicago and going to the state marching band competition.
My favorite memory from this year was all the Average Family Fridays.
My favorite memory from this year was performing in spring show.
My favorite memory this year was probably performing in TML with the theater and competing in the choir competitions like solo and ensemble this year and such. Those were a lot of fun.
Thank you to all the students who participated. Turning a hobby into a potential career, sophomore Jack Rossi continues to grow his business in digital media. Emo List got to take a closer look at Rossi's recent project.
In third grade, on an iPhone 5, Jack Rossi began his passion in editing on iMovie. From photo slideshows to actual videos, he slowly taught himself how to edit and began his entrepreneurship a few years ago.
Rossi Films is the company that I started a few years ago, basically more as a media production company rather than just video. So we book clients that need graphics, photos, and videos edited for company needs, organizational needs, anything like that.
Rossi says he gets himself out there to be seen by potential clients through self-promotion. Along with his Instagram account and website, he promotes himself through ads, which build traffic for multiple social media platforms.
Organizations and companies, they kind of talk to each other and kind of, say, oh, we did this with Rossi Films, oh, we did this with Rossi Films, and we kind of just build up traffic that way.
Charging a lower fee than competitors for editing services, Rossi aims to make premium videos and graphics affordable for companies and clients in different states.
So far as an editor, I've been able to work with companies and clients from either from here in Texas or around the United States, one being here at Hebron for the band.
Last year, COVID-19 hit the U.S. and schools began to cancel events. As a result, the band banquet was canceled, but Rossi and band director Zach Anderson collaborated to create a virtual band banquet. Impressed by his work, Anderson reached out to Rossi about starting a media team to promote the band.
Thinking about bringing a media team to the program, I thought he would be a really great lead for it. And ever since we created it, it's been just really cool to see it flourish and get to work with so many of the students in several different capacities. And he's done a really good job at making sure that every person that's a part of it can do things that they enjoy and things that are really their strengths. Maybe it's even something that they're interested in long-term and doing in college.
His recent project was this year's Hebron Band Virtual Banquet. In under 2 weeks, Rossi worked with the media team to put together an hour-and-a-half-long pre-recorded video with skits, awards, and speeches to be displayed on a Zoom call with the entire band. According to Rossi, it was tedious, but everything worked out perfectly.
All the teams did their jobs well. I collaborated with Andy St. Louis, and we both just were able to put the entire thing together, and it all turned out great.
He did a really great job at helping us tie everything together and essentially making our banquet possible.
Rossi plans to continue his business as a career, and although being a young entrepreneur comes with a stigma, Jack finds encouragement and support from his friends and family.
It's very obvious that he's driven because he's made a business out of this. Rossi Films is it's his job. He gets paid to do this for people, and he does a really great job of it.
If you ever need anybody to create some content for you, give Jack an email or a call, because he is really good at what he does, and I know that he'll be really successful in whatever he chooses to go into in the future.
Reporting for Hawk TV, I'm Ema Willis.
Thanks, Ema. Rossi Films' website link will be in the description below. Choir's annual spring show is this weekend. Mawat Woldu got to take a look at the preparation for the show.
Every year, the choir puts on a spring show as the final concert of the school year. Each spring show has a different theme. Director Alexander Carr knew from the beginning what the theme for this year would be: Broadway.
This year, when it looked like we were going to do Level Orange the whole time, I knew exactly what I wanted the finale to the spring show to be, which is an interface between our virtual choir and our in-person kids. And so Broadway sort of lent itself to that, because that is kind of the direction that Broadway is going.
Senior Kate Montgomery says spring show gives students the opportunity to showcase their talents that aren't normally applicable in normal concerts.
I think the good thing about spring show is that it's so different from all of our other concerts, and an aspect of like people who maybe aren't as strong with classical music, they're really strong with musical theater, and they're really strong actors, they're really strong dancers, they're really good at just emoting to the audience, and I'm just really excited for all of those people to be able to showcase their talents.
A big tradition of spring show is everyone wearing costumes that fit with the theme of the show. President Catherine Seals said this year, due to Level Orange, costumes will not be part of the show.
Just changing and doing costume changes wasn't going to work, and it wasn't going to be functional and safe. So I think that was probably the hardest decision, and because everyone was like, what? And I was like, sorry, I was like, Mr. Carr made it sound like, that was the best option. So I think people are adjusting. Well, a lot of my section is seniors, so I think it was kind of a bummer just not having that like really traditional aspect of spring show implemented this year. But for a lot of other girls, it's like their first spring show this year, so I'm a little bummed that they won't be able to have the full experience, but something is better than nothing, obviously, and I can tell that we're all really enjoying our time learning the music anyways.
The finale of the show will include not only in-person choir students, but the virtual students as well.
Looking forward to the finale, which I'm not going to give the whole thing away, but it's really, really powerful. I tell the kids in a performance, if your audience isn't crying, you haven't done your job. And so we've set up some really, really powerful moments that include our virtual students who have been at home.
Because that's the biggest thing, is it's not fair for them to not necessarily feel like they're a part of spring show. So that's been the biggest thing, is finding ways that they can feel like they're in it, and that they're able to have a similar experience, even though it's different, a similar experience to everyone who's in person.
Reporting for Hawk TV, I'm Mawat Woldu.
The spring show will be tonight and tomorrow at 7 p.m. in the auditorium. Tickets will be available to purchase at HebronChoir.com. With the end of the year approaching, football has been working to get ready for next year's season. Ava Caballero-Romo got to take a look into the team's preparation.
The football team has begun preparations for the new football season. Head football coach Brian Brazel says the spring game scrimmage will help the team continue its practice through the end of the spring season.
Really everything we've been doing is trying to prepare for next football season as far as the practice. Spring game will be, we'll select teams Thursday after practice, and we will have coaches will draft players, get everything set up, and then, but as far as the spring game itself, it's just a way to finish up spring. But everything we've been doing is just preparing for our season for the 2021 school year.
Junior Fred Ware says teamwork is an important focus for the spring game and next year's season.
Teamwork is very important. You have to rely on all your teammates. There's 11 people on the field, and if one person doesn't do their job right, the whole entire play and everything fails. So teamwork's going to be very crucial.
Junior Coda Bridges and Ware say the coaches are constantly encouraging them to believe in themselves and work hard.
They teach us more than football, teach us how to be a great young man, and just let us know what to do.
Coaches do a lot. They are always encouraging us, telling us that we're going to get things done right, we're going to be great, we're going to be successful if you just believe in them and they believe in us, and we're going to get it done.
With several key players from last season graduating, the rest of the team has had to step up. Brazel says he feels confident the team will work hard until the end of the year and into the next.
Confident about for the season. We're seeing a lot of kids that are really stepping up and doing some really good things, and obviously we got some key replacements from losing some kids from last year's football team, but we're seeing some kids really step up.
Reporting for Hawk TV, I'm Ava Caballero-Romo.
Thanks, Ava. The spring game will be on Tuesday in the football stadium. JV will play at 5 and varsity will start at 7. In other sports news, track and field athletes placed in 5 different events at the state meet last weekend. And on Tuesday, the girls' golf team won its first state championship, beating the second-place team by 7 strokes. That's it for today's episode. I'm Ellery Lyles. Have any story suggestions? Our email is down below. And make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram. And have a great summer.